Where is the best pint of Guinness in Glasgow? You're about to find out, lads. I'm heading over for the weekend to Glasgow with a few mates for the Ireland-Scotland match. Glasgow's been on my list for a long time. The pubs could be kind of busier than usual in my videos because there's going to be a lot of Irish people over there. Should be a bit of crack. First, just a big shout out to the sponsor of the video, helping me to pay for trips like this. Colin and the lads at West Cork Beard Company. All their products are handmade out of Clonakilty, County Cork. A few lovely products that only came out in September, including the brand new beard soap. The scent is clean mint. Look at that block, clean as a whistle. And my favorite product by a mile, to be honest with you, is the brand new beard comb. Look at the detail, lads. It's so solid and lovely. And if you head over to the West Cork Beard Company YouTube channel, lads, you'll see Colin there, the big boss man. I'm the Guinness guru, he's the beard guru. He shows you all of his ways, how to grow and style and protect your beard and mustache. And if you want to get 10% off all of their products, go to westcorkbeardcompany.ie. At the checkout, use the code GURU, you get 10% off the whole website. Thanks Colin and the lads for sponsoring. Now come on Ireland, come on pints, Glasgow, long awaited. Let's have it fucking large. That was brutal. Right lads, just touched down in Glasgow. I'm over for the Ireland-Scotland game tomorrow night. Might be a little bit of a different video than normal. I'm here for 3 days. I don't know if we're going to film it all today, maybe spread it over. I've no idea. First pub we're going to hit is Ginty McGinty's. It's out west, going to come out, come back in, and then take it from there. Glasgow, very, very highly requested in the last few months. Every time I put up a video, when you come to Glasgow, when you come to Glasgow. So we're here, beautiful city, but again, we're not the architecture guru, it's the Guinness guru. Let's see what Glasgow is saying. One take, baby.
Nice one.
All right lads, pub 1, Ginty McGinty's, about 10-minute taxi out to the west end. Right lads, pub 1, Ginty McGinty's. Like I said, it's in the west end. I believe there's a Kitty O'Shea's out here as well, but the Kitty O'Shea's I'm gonna hit is in the central. I'll take a sip because it's set up quite quick. A few bubbles in the head. The head is quite small. Good domage on it to be fair, but the head is very small. New style glass, but we won't complain about that. Glass, to be fair, is clean, but a lot to break down. Sláinte. So first things first, they did offer if I wanted regular or extra cold. Typically you find in the UK they just give you the extra cold straight away, and I won't lie, we actually had a cheeky pint in an unnamed pub before this, and it was like a fucking slush puppy. It was so cold, it was getting brain freeze off of it. So it's nice to be actually offered extra cold or regular. Second thing, probably the most interesting pouring technique I've ever seen with Guinness. So it was placed on like a glass and then just poured straight in, no 45-degree angle. Obviously Guinness haven't come and checked the techniques in this pub in a long time. No 45-degree angle, and then yeah, 2-part pour to about here and then topped up. But the Guinness tap isn't like a specialty Guinness tap, it's just the Guinness logo slapped onto a regular tap, which means, I don't know exactly what that means, but usually it has the proper big pulley for the Guinness. Taste wise, I mean, just right up average road really. To be honest, the taste actually, this is the thing with one of these trips. This isn't just a typical me going around by myself. This is me with a few lads. So this cameraman Tom, you have a slug there before your pint goes bad. This is a very casual trip. So if the camera work seems a bit shaky, if I seem a bit drunk at some stage during the video, I probably will be, because we are on a lads trip for the footy. But so what I'm saying is, I had a pint in the airport this morning in the Marquette bar. They brought in the old style glass, but the pint just tasted a bit off. I'm going to put a little bit of information on the screen that I received, and if true, very fascinating. I'll put that on now. Then I had a pint in, I couldn't even be arsed saying it because I might go back there and do a review at some stage over the weekend, but we had a pint in a different pub just before we came here. Like I said, it was freezing. and the taste was not great. Taste in the airport wasn't great. This is probably the best tasting point I've had today, even though it didn't look like it was up to much. And also in the last pub, you talk about a 2-part pour, it was with a 40-part pour. Your man was just poured at the 45-degree angle to about halfway, and then every 5 seconds he was coming over and just pulling about another 10 mils into it, pulling about another 10 mils. But that's an unnamed pub. I'll probably say it later on when I'm locked during the video. Anyway, some lovely authentic Irish music. Bit of Meat Hollow Jackson in the background. Yeah, grand pub. Just loads of classic Irish shite around the place. Walk in, the first thing you see is a picture of WB8s. Solid. They seem to sell the old school titles, which is cool. So yeah, genuine enough. But it's all about the pint. Pint, I don't know, pint is not bad. And to be honest, I won't name names because I don't know their names, but we came in and there's a few lads out the front. They had 3 empty Guinness glasses in front of them and then 3 full pints of Tennent's. And they were like, all right, Guinness Kiro, yeah, we couldn't drink the Guinness, we had to go on to the Tennent's, but they got extra cold. We got regular. But lads, you can just nod if you agree. Does this seem quite cold? Quite cold? Yeah, okay. This is still very cold, so could be up for debate. Is it all just the same thing? But taste-wise, I was expecting it to be awful. It's borderline drinkable. I could have another one of them. I can only judge it for myself. I can only judge the pint I get myself. Can't take any other factors into it. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. It's fine. It's very cold, old style glass. Very dodgy pouring technique. Tom going for another sip, shaky camera. Yeah, I know it's too cold because I can't keep it in my hand. That's the test. That's the test. It's too cold, lads. It's not regular Guinness. Oh yeah, there'll be plenty more of them today. I'm gonna go. The fact that I could drink another one, it's gonna just about make the 6s. I'm gonna say 6.1, below average, but tastes relatively fresh to me. Bit of shtick on the side. Those bubbles have calmed down. The head actually looks quite creamy-ish, so yeah, a lot of negatives, but I could drink another, so it's got to stay in the 6s. Just about makes the 6s. 6.1. Ginty McGinty's in the West End. Right lads, pub 2, MJ Herities. A fella called, sorry, very loud in the road now, a fella called Glasgow Guinness Man on Instagram said, this is his favourite pub. We're kind of in the south side, close enough to Hampden Park. Go on, the Ireland! Even from the outside, looks like a real old man, old school boozer. I'm expecting big things from MJ Herity. Little zoom action.
Gotta get the zoom in. Break your mask down, yeah, fast.
Right lads, MJ Herities, like I said outside, Glasgow Guinness man, who I actually think, only learned last year, is like the longest running Guinness page on Instagram, which is, man, he said he's doing it like 6 years. And funny I say 6 years, this glass was made in 2016. It's actually, most glasses you see these days would be kind of 2020, 21, 22. Anyway, apart from the 2 negatives so far, new style glass, but to be expected, and it was, the only option was extra cold. Well, I wasn't asked, but both taps said extra cold. Positives, head looks very creamy, no bubbles, head is the perfect size, glass is very clean, but just the extra cold, like there's no way this is going to be unreal if it's extra cold. But anyway, sláinte lads. See now, initially, like taste-wise, it's one of the first times I've had, boy, I'll fly your pointer. It's one of the first times I've had an extra cold and can actually taste the lovely Guinness through it. Usually the extra cold is so cold, like this honestly feels the same temperature, if not warmer, than the pint I got in Ginty McGinty's, which was regular, but was still freezing cold. But I feel like I can actually hold this one in my hand. It's definitely not colder than it was. Tom agrees behind the camera. So the extra cold crack, I think there's a lot of investigating to do with that. Like, the tap says extra cold, but I don't know, are they really controlling the temperature that much, or are they just like, whatever it is, it is whatever temperature it is. But yeah, initially taste-wise, it's decent enough. That's definitely not extra cold. That's a good temperature. Like, it's probably a little bit colder than a regular pint of Guinness. Maybe a degree colder than I would normally like. And the mad thing is, like, when I say a degree, you think you pompous prick, like talking about a single degree. It's like when they talk about the whole global warming crack. A degree makes a lot of difference, lads. And yeah, I mean, it's decent. The head is staying all right. To be fair, very few bubbles in the head, which I like. And we're so, like I said, we're going around. Myself, Tom and Boylo, the Guru background team, are flat out at work, and we get 3 pints, and then the privileged Guru kind of gets the choice of the best one. So, you know, it's. I feel like maybe I'm getting an even better pint than normally, because I'm getting to pick between 3. Because we all know that argument when the 3 pints come, or there's a load of lads and a lot of pints come, and there's 1 or 2 scaldy looking ones, and lads just go and grab the good ones. You snooze, you lose. Yeah, definitely a bit more taste off it than any of the other ones I've had today. But like, by no means an unreal pint. It's just, I haven't had that new style glass in a good while. And it's very hard to enjoy anything out of it. And then the fact that it's cold enough. Taste-wise I mean, it's tasty enough, but it's grand. This is one of those reviews where I'm not shouting from the rooftops because the pub is very quiet. Also, I was expecting, I'd say, to be more like I presume the later reviews in the video will be a bit busier, but Sweet Gas came in 2 totally dead pubs, usually what I want in the reviews, but I wouldn't mind a bit of crack in the video later on as well. But one of those reviews where barman is kind of within hearing distance, so I'm not exactly screaming about the pint. But it's grand, like, nothing to write home about. Wouldn't be worth travelling down here if you're in the city centre, like, just to come here for a Guinness. It probably is maybe better than the regular stuff in the city centre, but it's not, for me, it's not good enough to travel like 15 minutes in a taxi out of the city centre. It's a tiny bit better than Ginty McGinty's, but being realistic, not by much. So we went 6.1 in Ginty McGinty's. I mean, I'd be happy to give this, I go 6.4. Best I can do on that. Grand, nothing to write home about. Disappointing considering Glasgow Guinness man said it was his favourite pint in Glasgow. Herities. Right lads, pub 3, the Lauriston, just up the road from Herities, on the way back into town, which is perfect because we still haven't even checked into our hotel. Jesus, gonna get fucking soaked. Bit of a mad looking pub from the outside, don't know what to expect, but it was the most requested pub in Glasgow, just pipped Herities as most requested for a pint of Guinness. So I'm expecting big things, even though I was kind of disappointed with Herities, but we keep the faith alive, positive vibes only. Guru background team, hard at work. So barman just explained, this is the ordinary tap, this is the extra cold, and then this is the famous middle tap, and it comes straight from the cellar.
These go through the lines, like
yeah, okay.
Through the piping, so it just runs alongside it. Runs alongside it.
Well, you can feel that all right. You're not with the touch. With the touch, you can feel that.
That's the regular, isn't it?
The regular's to the left.
Oh, I'm getting all of them.
Yeah.
That's extra cold.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just picked the bag of crisps, boiler.
Guru background team, taking breaks, slacking. Yeah, because I've one of each, and then this is the middle tap. That feels very warm. Yeah, grand.
See if you feel each pint.
Yeah.
They'll each feel different.
Yeah.
Even the pint ones.
Yeah.
Because the weight goes.
This is far warmer, yeah.
What you pour.
Right.
It's running through.
I'm gonna have a sip of this. So I'll go here. So this is the middle tap. To me, it feels very warm in my hand. Barman said the more you pour, the warmer it gets. I feel like this is the first one poured in a little while. This already feels warm. If it was any warmer than this, wouldn't be happy. No real bubbles in the head. Good domage. It seemed like a bit of a 3-part pour. Kind of poured it up to here and then to there, and then added the domage on top. Which for me, the challenge of the domage is all about doing it in the second part of the pour. And then if you don't spill it down the side and you get serious domage, that is a real skill in itself. But anyway, it feels very warm, but apparently a very famous pub used in a lot of movies and stuff. So, sláinte lads, don't know what the fuck can expect. That is very warm, and I'm not someone who likes, I'm not old school. I wasn't brought up in the 70s and 80s where they were drinking Guinness off the shelf. This is far too warm for my liking. I'm just going to say that off the bat. It's thick, it's creamy, it looks fine. The middle, this glass is especially for that middle tap. You would have seen what I put on. You would have seen the footage of the middle tap. It has this glass on top of it. But I don't know, lads. It's just far too warm. I think I should have just asked for regular, to be honest. I don't know. It doesn't feel right reviewing and judging this middle tap because it's so warm. So do I just drink this little one and give this a score? That is actually nice. But now we're in a situation where we're all over the shop because I feel like I'm reviewing the wrong thing. I might have to get a pint of regular and then just forget this middle tap, carry on, and
One of those, the regular ones that
yeah, fair play, Boyle on the ball. Right, we'll stop the camera for a second, Tommy. Okay, we're back. So yeah, we've got this. Again, the regular tap here does feel a little bit colder than a regular tap back home. Also, disappointing domage, has to be said. There was good domage on the middle tap one, but fucking pretty just flat across. It's not concave, it's not convex. Hashtag geography guru. It's just flat across, but to be fair, no bubbles, couple of little tiny micro bubbles. Head could be a little bit bigger, just about settled, new style glass, sláinte. Gonna be fucking locked by the end of this video. Now that's a decent bit of gear. Now I know why people have recommended this, why this was the most recommended pub. Yeah. Easily the best pint I've had today. And that's not really groundbreaking stuff because I'm sure the lads would agree the standard hasn't been too great. I'll be honest with you, I'm not in no rush to get it into me because I've got half of this thing, these two little fucking goblets. The belly is feeling it. There's burps are coming. This could be getting scored before it even gets to the halfway point. Point. Getting there, lads. We're getting rowdy. But yeah, without a doubt, creamy, tasty. Best pint I've had yet today. I'm not going to rush myself to neck it. I can tell. I've enough experience now in the over 250 reviews I've done that I can tell by getting it to about the halfway point. A 7.1 for the, he's done it, for the Lauriston, whatever, Lauriston bar. I think the area is just called Lauriston, so it's just, man in the back is nodding his head in approval. The Lauriston bar in Lauriston, Glasgow, you've made it into the sevens. Thankfully, I made the executive decision to put this gimmicky shite aside. No offense, middle tap, cool, kind of funny, cool thing to talk about. Not for me. I'm all about getting the same juice you're going to get in the next place. The regular stuff, 7.1 out of 10. The Lauriston bar. Starting to feel these pints. Right lads, it's about 2.5 hours since I last spoke to you. I was kind of considering like, go ahead, you're fine. Man of the people. I was kind of considering, I was in the last place, I had the fucking warm drink at the Oak. I was going, geez, I'm getting a bit tipsy here. Will we just call it a day and I'll finish the video tomorrow? I said, fuck that. We go back, we'll change, we'll shower, we'll replenish. A little bit of a nap, I won't lie. First time I've ever had a nap in between doing a Guinness Guru video. It was first time for everything. Now we're at Kitty O'Shea's. It was probably, yeah, third or fourth ranked. There's a Kitty O'Shea's in Edinburgh. Very much just sort of vibe of Irish bar. Everyone comes late at night. But yeah, let's see what the Guinness is like. And then we've got Malone's after, and we're done. Right lads, we're in Kitty O'Shea's. I hope you can see me. Light's not great, but it's grand. Thumbs up from cameraman Tom. Still rocking around with the Three Stooges here. The Guru background team. We're back, baby. Yeah, was gladder than that. Well needed. Now we're back in action. Point was comped, but it doesn't affect the score. But fair play, lads. Thanks very much, but it doesn't affect the score. Now any positives I give to this point is just going to look like you're only sucking their dicks because it was comped. No, we don't work that way. If you're watching the channel long enough, it doesn't work that way. New style glass, we don't like that, but you're not going to get an old style glass. In Glasgow, we know that by now. Very creamy head, to be fair. Head looks the perfect size. Domage is pretty good. Temperature is pretty good. Big man Boilo, Guru, background team staff member, was asked regular or cold. Of course, we went regular. Has all the makings of a decent pint, lads. No bubbles in the head. Sláinte. It's grand. Again, just getting a feeling I'm not going to get an amazing pint of Guinness in Glasgow. It might be down to the fact that I just brushed my teeth. It might be at a slight disadvantage. Anything's going to taste like shite after you brush your teeth. But it's all right. Creaminess, it's definitely up there with the creamiest one I've had today. And again, no bubbles in the head is always a good sign. Still does feel cold. The regular is not regular over here. It's like cold and extra cold. Whereas our regular is cold, we're not that cold. But anyway, it's all right, it's decent. The only place today we've seen that had the Guinness red sort of box that Mr. All Things Guinness from Instagram fucking loves. So old school tap, pretty cool pub. They got loads of great Guinness memorabilia. Very similar to the Kitty O'Shea's in Edinburgh. Dark as fuck. You can come in here, you can get away with some awful stuff in here late at night. But that won't be us, but if that's what you're into. But yeah, pint decent. Funny story, when I went to Kitty O'Shea's in Edinburgh, I got there on the Sunday, went out Friday, Saturday, and I filmed the video on the Sunday like a psychopath. I got to Kitty O'Shea's about midday, and they were just open. It was the first pint of the day. The lads were like, for fuck's sake, you're coming here, first pint of the day. It wasn't that great. This is better. It's been pulled. Pints been pulled all day. The vibes are good in here. But yeah, I mean, it's an alright pint. Guinness farts are starting. That's gonna stink. Oh, that really does stink. Jesus, that's awkward now. Really smells like eggs. But I told you lads at the start of the video, this one could get a bit loopy, a bit fucking ropey. We're on the lads trip for the football. Right, that is a good point. Again, just a degree or two too cold for me, even though it's regular. Stick not bad. Guru background team, not happy with the smell in here, but at least you can't smell it through the camera. Yeah, it's an eggy one, all right. It's an eggy one. Guinness plus Greg's equals eggy farts. Simple as that. Pint is, yeah, I'm gonna go 6.9. Wine and Diner 69er. Doesn't quite make the 7.1. Still for me, the Lauriston was that little bit better, a little bit creamier, a little bit tastier. Not a bad ale pint. Decent head, no bubbles in the head, but just taste wise, there's just something with the taste over here. It's just lacking a bit, and new style glass, not great, and also the temperature. Just can't get over the temperature. I'm a big temperature guy, so if it's too cold or too warm, I'm not a big fan. It really takes away from the score. 6.9 out of 10.
Apparently the Guinness here is actually, you're actually so tall.
Are you?
Apparently the Guinness is what? Apparently the Guinness is what?
Good.
Why aren't you drinking it then?
Can I get a selfie with you?
Yeah, go ahead, lad.
I was sitting beside you on the plane this morning. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I was sitting beside your man on TikTok.
Keep it rolling. Right lads, shaking hands with kids and babies, taking selfies, you know how it is. It's going to be fucking carnage in here. Hopefully we get in. There's bounces at the door and the whole lot. Malone's, let's see. We go in for the crack. Thanks. Keep that rolling, baby. Hey, lads.
You're some son.
I know, yeah.
You're going to get a Guinness.
Yeah, boy. Bad sign, good music, thank you. Three Guinness, please. Right, lads, we better go outside. Fuck me. Talk about crazy reviews. Unbelievable. Never been to an Ireland away game, and I've heard mythical stories, and by fuck they weren't wrong. Again, points were comped on the house, so shout out to Malone's for that. No bubbles in the head. You could see they were frantically panicking around who was going to pour them. Getting a lot of lads as I walked in saying, great pint in here, despite they weren't actually drinking the Guinness. But anyway, that's a different story. I'm pretty sure it was an extra cold tap. I'm like 99% sure it was. Just absolute carnage. It's just going to be like this all night. Fucking mental. I'd love to do the review inside, but for obvious reasons, that was never going to happen. Absolute pandemonium. Guinness Guru chants going. It's just shaking hands and kissing babies every day of the week, but I mean, we know that by this stage. Pint is decent. Yeah, last pint was Kitty O'Shea's.
I hear you're the Guinness man, Mama.
Yeah, what would you give that out of 10?
I'm Jamie Oliver's graduate. Nice to meet you.
Okay, very good. What would you give the pint out of 10? I'm working my way through the review. I'm trying to compare it to the last fucking 400 pints I've had already today. Lauriston was the best so far. It's a bit.
We're going to run with it. We're going to go to another pot.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, go ahead, sure.
I'm going to send this to the cowboy for the crack.
The cowboy.
Cowboy. Good man. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Like here, anyway?
I'm fucking midway through the review. We're going to give it a score now in a second. We knew it was going to happen. We knew it would be carnage. Pint is decent. Right, fucking hell. Back in the zone here. I think that's pretty drinkable. There's no bubbles in the head. It's a thick, creamy head. Fucking new style glass. We're going to get that wherever we go. It's too cold for my liking, but that's been the theme the whole trip. Tom, are you all right there with the camera, pal? You'll be off the clock in a second. We have 5 more minutes of work to do. Get through it, Tom. Right, fucking, what's the best I gave? 7.1. I don't know if it's going to top that. I don't know, I might top it. Yeah, I think you're bang on, Tommy. I'm going to give it a flat 7. I think the Lauriston by literally 0.1 was that tiny bit better. But if it wasn't extra cold, I'd probably give it maybe a 7.2, 7.3. But it's just too cold for my liking. But good shtick. Very creamy, no bubbles in the head. But yeah, 7 out of 10 for Malone's. That is us signing off at night because we're going to be very drunk very soon. Probably already are.